Hey, welcome back to First Class Lavish. It's your girl Yella, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 big tips to start your relationship with God or to maintain your relationship with God in the beginning walk with Christ. And as you see me looking down on my iPad, because I want to make sure I'll touch and remember every single point that I have 5 big tips that I wish I would have known when I first started walking with Christ and that I'm going to share with you. So before we get started, like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned. And before y'all come to me saying, bro, what you mean welcome back? We ain't never been here before. Let's just pretend like we picking up where we left off. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let's just picture this in your head, right? You used to me talking my talk and we building up together. We building up our relationship with Christ together. Because I don't want to do the whole first video introduction, you know, like, and be all nervous. Nope, like, been here before. We a milli deep. Like, come on now. I'm new to this, not true to this. Like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm true to this, not new to this. There we go. Bro, what? Come on now. You're messing up already. Okay, anyway, so let's get started. So 5 big tips on how to maintain your relationship with Christ or start building up your relationship with Christ if you're new to it. Tip number 1, do not worry about your sin. Don't worry about what you have going on. Don't think that, oh, I have to do this. I got to stop doing this before I can start like building my relationship with Christ. Wrong. No, that's not the case. I made that mistake too, thinking, okay, well, I want to get my relationship with God started. Like, I got to stop smoking. I got to stop drinking. I got to stop doing this. I got to stop doing that. No, that is wrong. I'm going to read Luke 5:31, and then I'm going to explain why it's wrong. So Luke 5:31 says, Jesus answered them. Oh, okay, so backstory. Jesus is right now currently eating at a tax collector's house with a lot of sinners and a lot of tax collectors, and the Pharisees is dread. They're tight. They're like, what are you doing? Like, why do you eat? And this is what they said. He said, why do you eat and drink with such scum? Scum? Excuse me? This is what Jesus hit them with. Jesus answered them, healthy people don't need a doctor. Sick people do. 32. I have come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners and need to repent. God did not send Jesus on the cross for the people that think, oh yeah, I'm righteous, I'm good, I'm clean, I don't need. No, he came for the people that know that they're sinners, that know that they're doing wrong, but they have it in their heart. They want to turn their life around. They want to give their life to Christ. So don't think you have to stop doing what you're doing in order to accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. You don't. Call out to him. Allow him to do the work for you. So it's 2 different places that you can find it. You can find it in Matthew 9:12 or you can find it in Luke 5:31. Same thing. He will remove those urges and those needs that you have, but you just have to accept him. You have to come to him. You have to allow him to work within you. If I was to wait until I stopped smoking or stopped drinking or stopped doing whatever to then be like, okay, now I'm gonna focus on God, like, it would have never happened. I wouldn't be where I am today. God would have never had to send Jesus Christ down on the earth to spread the good news and then to die on the cross for us if we had the strength to kill sin ourselves. You get what I'm saying? So allow God to cleanse you from the inside out. Allow God to take those sins away from you. All you have to do is just call out to him. All the urges, all the sins that you're used to doing, they will become disgusting to you and you're not going to have the urge to do it anymore. Literally. Tip number 2. Do not. 3rd time. Do not compare your walk or your relationship with God to other people. Don't do it to yourself, because then what will happen is you'll start to just overcorrect or overthink, and you're gonna mess your relationship with Christ up even more if you do that. I don't care who it is, not even your pastor or anybody for that matter. Don't compare the relationship you have with God simply because you don't know how God is talking to them. You don't know how God is working in their lives. God is going to use you for a different reason. Like, as many people as there is on earth, God has called every single one of us to be different and to have a different relationship with him. So if you get to comparing, then it's like now you're limiting God on what he can do for you, because what he has for you, he may not have for anybody else. And what he has for everybody else, he may not have for you. Make sense? I'm about to read to you Galatians 6:4. It says, pay careful attention to your own work. Pay careful attention to your own work. It says, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else, for we are each responsible for our own conduct. Don't worry about what anybody is doing or how anybody looks with their walk with Christ. Yes, you can use people as examples like me right now. God is using me as a vessel to share these tips with you. Don't feel like you have to then go out and share tips with people, because God may not have called you to do that. So just worry about what God has called you to do. Worry about your relationship with God, because God may tell you something and it may not make sense to anybody else. But you have to have the discernment to know, okay, God, this is our relationship. Like, this is something that you have called me to do. You have to trust that God knows best. Like, he knows best. Literally, he knows better than anybody, because he created us. Like, he knows what you're going to do before you do it. For instance, I had no clue on like what I was supposed to do. The only thing I was supposed to do was trust God. Like, call out to God. God, I need you. I need Jesus. I need the Holy Spirit in me. That's all I was supposed to do. Read my word, pray, and just let God do his thing. But me thinking I know everything, since you got your degree and you know everything, I'm on the internet, I'm trying to figure out what everybody else is doing. And then it got to a point where I'm judging everybody. Like, I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, you're not supposed to do this. What? God humbled me quickly. Like, cut it out. Stop. Like, no, you're wrong. Stop. It's you. It's not them, it's you. So then I had to quickly learn that, okay, I'm not going to be the same as them. Like, I'm thinking it's a certain way I have to talk, a certain way I have to act, like, because I'm seeing how they're doing it. I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm supposed to be doing it like this. No, God hasn't called us to all be robots in the army and look like one and act like one. No, he called us to use our uniqueness and our likeness to be able to spread his word differently. So I'm talking like my regular talk. Like, this is me talking my talk. He didn't change my personality at all. He just changed the things that I was doing. So instead of glorifying things that wasn't Christ-like, I'm now glorifying God and Christ-like things, but still in my own way. So don't compare yourself to others. Don't try to be like others. Don't try to act like others. Don't try to fix yourself like others, because it's not gonna work. Like, be yourself. Allow God to cleanse you and make you new, but still be yourself. You're gonna attract more and more people to God if you be yourself and you show them, I see how God is using her. Like, it's not the same as this person. It's not the same as that person. Just be yourself and allow God to work within you. And I promise that relationship will flourish. Like, it will flourish. I'm telling you. Okay, big tip number 3. Do not lean on your own understanding. Allow God to work. No matter what happens, don't lean on it, because sometimes it just will not make sense, especially at the beginning. It won't make sense. Didn't know that. Like, I'm telling y'all, when I say I learned all of this stuff from scratch, I learned all of this stuff from scratch. When you start walking with Christ, when you know this is what you want, certain things may not make sense. You quitting your job may not make sense. You unfriending that friend that you had for 10 plus years, 15 plus years, it may not make sense. You leaving your relationship may not make sense. But God knows what you got going on. Like, God knows the path that he's about to lead you in. So, y'all know I got a verse for you. You know I got, come on now. It's me. I got a verse for you. Like, I can't talk my talk and I back it up. Like, with the word. Come on. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. 6, seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Literally, it's right there. Seek his will in all you do, and he'll show you the path to take. It may not make sense to you, but it makes sense to him. Example, right? We all been in a situation before. I'm in a car. So let's just say I'm in the passenger seat and God is in the driver's seat, and we got our situation on the map. Stay with me. And the GPS is saying take a right, so I'm expecting us to take a right. When it's coming up to a stoplight, the guy keeps straight. And you looking like, what are you doing? The GPS said take a right. Like, why are you continuing straight? Like, huh? Like, why would you not listen to the GPS? I don't know where I'm going, but he know where I'm going. So he kept straight. He knows that if we would have taken the right, we would be waiting in traffic for an hour. And then you see the GPS reroutes it, and it knocked off 30 minutes. And you're like, whoa, hold on, like, how you know that? God knows what's ahead. So although you may think it makes common sense to do one thing, God is going to tell you to do another thing, because he knows that the route that you're about to take is not going to lead you where you think it's going to lead you. Follow him, trust in him, and know that he knows what he's doing. He knows where you're going, because he already knows the path you're going to take. Lean not on your own understanding. It may not make sense sometimes, but trust that the Lord knows what he's doing in your life. Every single time, he knows what he's doing. Don't allow others to cloud your judgment. Don't allow yourself to cloud your judgment. Don't allow the enemy to cloud your judgment. Just trust in the Lord. One of the easiest things that we tend to forget, but one of the biggest things that will help us in our walk with Christ, is start producing good fruit. Start producing the fruit of God, and you will like see your relationship with him flourish even more. So got a verse for you. John 15:4 says, "Remain in me and I in you, for a branch cannot produce fruit if it's served from the vine. You cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. I am the vine and you are the branch." This is 5. "I am the vine and you are the branch. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing." Okay, and then read this verse, like John 15, read it all. Read it all. For us to be more like God, we have to start producing more fruits of him. Okay, one more verse for you. So that you may not be like, what fruit? Like, what kind of fruit? Like apples, oranges, peaches, pears? No. Fruit of God. Y'all, God is allowing me to experience, you know, everything that I'm saying right now. Because why was I recording, right? Not even recording. I was talking this whole time. Mind you, I moved on to the last tip. I'm on tip number 5. My phone wasn't even recording because my phone wasn't on D&D. So people was calling me like, and I didn't know it this whole time. But but guess what? It's okay. Because what am I doing now? I'm about to just re-record it. What can I do? I can't do nothing about it. Like, I can't do nothing about it. So there's no point in getting upset. Boom. Galatians 5:22. Do y'all see how God worked? I was put in a position where I had to like be fruitful. I had to produce positive fruit. What's the point of me being upset and cussing and da-da-da-da-da? There's no point. Boom. Galatians 5:22. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. Perfect example. We have to start producing fruits of the Spirit if we want to build and maintain our relationship with God. The more you remain in God, the more that you really trust in the Lord, the more that you really build your relationship with him, you will automatically start to produce these types of fruits. God is love. You will start to automatically produce this fruit of love, of peace, of patience, of kindness, of careness, like of self-control, of self-discipline. Like you will automatically produce these fruit. But if you don't start to show it, even if you don't know how to, ask God to give you the strength. And he will, because you're remaining in him, because you're reading his word, because you're praying, because you're going to church, because you're doing all of these things. You're filling yourself up with God. So the only thing that can be produced out is what? It's his fruits. I say that to say this. If you know you're a hothead, if you know that you're somebody that is easily angered, that doesn't show kindness, just slowly, day by day, reflect. Look at yourself. Like, see what you can do to just start to show a little bit more love, a little bit more kindness, a little bit more patience. Like me, for example. And I like to use myself as an example, especially when I'm like trying to help others out, simply because you know that you're not in the boat alone. Like, or I'm not just talking on my or just saying anything. Like, I like when I'm listening to people or listening to sermons or listening to YouTubers or podcasts or whatever the case may be, and I like to listen to people that really connects to me, like people that was in my same boat. Clearly you were here before, so you're not just talking just to talk. Like, come on now. I was a hothead. Like, I was somebody that was easily angered. I had no patience, and a year ago today, for that fact, like, that's crazy. It's been less than a year since I turned my life over to Christ, and just the way that I have grown and changed is just surreal. Anyway, I was easily angered. Like, any little thing could tick me off in a heart. Like, I'm saying the littlest thing. I'm sucking my teeth. I'm smacking my lips. I gotta add it. Like, when I tell y'all it was so bad, like, I knew that when I did first start coming to Christ, that was one of the biggest things that I had to learn how to let go. Is just stop being so angry all the time. Like, it's not gonna get you nowhere at all. Like, so once I learned what the fruits of the Spirit actually were, and I started to show a little bit more kindness, a little bit more gratitude towards people, a little bit more, it started producing more and more and more in me, because God is seeing, like, okay, she's trying. Like, now I'm gonna give her the tools and the tips and the things that she needs to just push it out there more. Being realistic, like, you're human. Like, you're going to feel emotions. You're allowed to feel emotions, but do not allow your emotions to overpower you. Don't allow your emotions to take control over you. That's where we get it wrong. Like, it's not that you can't feel a certain way. It's not that you can't, like, express your emotions, but just take it to God. Like, right then and there, just take it to God, because the moment that you allow yourself to overly feel and let those emotions overpower you, that's where you mess up. Jesus felt. Every emotion that we feel, Jesus felt when he was here on earth in the fleshly form. So it's not that you can't feel. You can feel how you want to feel. Allow him to control whatever the situation is, but you just keep walking. Like, your whole entire day should not be ruined for something that happened at 8 o'clock in the morning. If it happened at 8 o'clock in the morning, feel it. By 8:30, you shouldn't even be worried about it, because you should have already prayed and gave it to God and allowed God to fix it. No matter how mad you may be, how bad it may hurt, none of that. Don't allow those negative emotions to overpower you, because that's all that the enemy wants. One little thing to happen to you, because he know, oh yeah, like, she not gonna do what she's supposed to do because she's mad about this that happened. Don't ever allow the enemy to think he got a one-up on you. Girl, never. Sir, never. Man, never. Like, whoever, like, never, 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 ever. Tip number, was that 4? Let me see. Yes, that was 4. Okay, tip number 5. This is our last tip together, y'all, for this first video. Like, I hope y'all really like this video. I hope y'all learned something, gained something, you know, felt something. I hope God really has used me as a vessel, as he should, to really like steward things that I can speak out to you, because it gets hard. Like, it really does. And sometimes we just don't know where to start. Like, we want to, but we don't know where to start. We don't know like what to do, how to do it, or whatever. I hope this video really helped you. If it did, give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe to the channel. The flight done took off. Classes in session. Like, be a part of it. Like, grow with me. Like, I'm still growing to this day. Like, it's still things that I'm learning. It's still things that God is showing me in life. So grow with me. Let's grow together. Let's learn together. Like, send us to a friend, a brother, a sister, an uncle, a mother, a cousin, whoever, and let's all grow together. Like, let's all like really, 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 really deep in our relationship with Christ, because that's really all that matters at the end of the day. I'm written. We'll talk about that later. Tip number 5 is to have faith, and I wrote this one in all big caps. Like, have faith. Faith. You feel me? Have it. It's yours. Have faith, like, in him. Have faith in God and yourself. Like, have faith. Romans 9:31. Acts, let's see, Acts and then Romans, right? I hope that's right. I mean, I meant Romans, but I don't know if it was Acts and then Romans, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm 90% sure that it is. Okay. Romans 9:31 states, but the people of Israel who took so hard, that's wrong. That's not a Romans 9:31. Romans 9:31. But the people of Israel who tried so hard to get right with God by keeping the law never succeeded. Why not? Because they were trying to get right with God by keeping the law instead of trusting in him. They stumbled over the great rock in their path. Oh, and every verse that I've read today is coming from the NLT version. I'm reading all the verses from the NLT version. Disclaimer. Having faith in God doesn't mean I'm gonna do the things that I think I should do. I'm doing the things that I think God will want me to do. No, having faith in God means allowing God to work in you. Allowing God to really, really, really do the things in your life that he said he was going to do. That's what trusting God means. The more you trust God is how you deepen your relationship with him. The more you rely on him is really where you will see the progression in your relationship with him. Again, all of our walks with him is different. All of our talks with him are different. All of our prayer lives are different. But we have to know and we have to have faith that God is going to do everything he said he was going to do within our lives. I have one more verse for this. Matthew 14:28. Then Peter called out to him, Lord, if it is really you, tell me to come to you, walking on the water. 29. Yes, come, Jesus said. So Peter went over the side of the boat and walked on the water to Jesus. But when he saw the strong wind and the waves, he was terrified and began to sink. Save me, Lord, he shouted. Jesus immediately reached his hand out and grabbed him. You have so little faith, Jesus said. Why did you doubt me? Y'all can't tell me right now that that's not us. Like, y'all cannot tell me right now that that's not us. So many times where we know God said he would save us. God said he would take all of these things away from us, all of the negativity. He would take these nasty spirits out of us and replace it with him. He said these things. God said it. So why when we start to see the storm, why when we start to see all of the things that's going wrong in our lives, we start to question and doubt God? Like, that's not having faith. Having faith is knowing for a fact that no matter what you're going through, God got you. That storm is not going to swallow you up. You're not going to drown. Even if it seems like it, even if it feels like it, God got you. Like, don't ever doubt him, because he knows what he's doing. He knows what positions you're in. He knows the money that you have. He knows the job situation. He knows the friend situation. He knows the household situation. He knows what you're going through. But don't ever for a second question that your situation is gonna like trap you or drown you. Don't allow your situations and don't allow anything that's going on in your life to have you doubt yourself or doubt God. Like, have faith that you're his, that you're loved, that the most high power, he knows what you got going on. Like, he got you. You're secure. Just have faith in him. That's why I saved that one for last, because if you don't take away anything else from this video, I pray that you take away the faith that you need to have in God to know that your relationship with him will be sustained. God can turn your life around no matter what situation you may be in. God came on this earth to save us sinners, drug dealers, the shooters, the robbers, the prostitutes.
A few moments later,
Strippers, the smokers, any and everything that you can think of. Like, God sent Jesus on the earth to save us. He don't want somebody that think they know it all. He don't want somebody that think that they're the perfect people and they go to church every day and then come home and they read the Bible. He wanted us sinners. He came to save us sinners. Truth be told, like, go based off of God and not your own understanding. But that's gonna be all for this video. Woo, that was a handful, but I did it. Yay! Y'all don't understand. Like, God been telling me to do this. I ain't gonna lie. But me talking content for a lot of people, me. But then, you know, disobedience. I can't believe I'm really doing this. Like, God, I'm not even gonna ask you because I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, why did I just start praying crazy? Like, I just bust out into prayer because it's so crazy. I never saw myself here. All of the things God has lined up in my life, I never envisioned that for myself. So it's just so surreal to me, and just absorbing this moment really got to me. And I just really want to pray that I'm doing everything that God has called me to do, and it's always going to be his will over mine. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I might let y'all listen to a little bit of the prayer just to really see like the deep appreciation that I have for God for all that he allowed me to do in this lifetime. But yeah,
thank you so much for watching. I hope you loved this video. If you did, like it, comment down below if these tips are helping you, if they were helpful. Subscribe for more content like this. If you have any questions, requests that you want to see, or if these tips helped you out, anything that you want to say, just leave it down in the comments below and I will be sure to look at them, obviously. And I just really hope y'all like this video, and I hope that y'all are here to stay on this ride with me. Join the laugh crew. Like, we lavish over here, and I'm gonna explain to y'all what that means. I got the perfect video, like, but that one's tucked in. That one's tucked away. Me and God we still, you know what I'm saying? We still got a little thing. But join the first class laugh crew. You will not regret it at all. I hope you like this video. Comment, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.